Welcome to another episode of Power Alphas. I'm one of your co-hosts, Sabby Piscitelli, and as always, I got my beautiful, freshly hair-did wife here with me today.
He noticed the hair, guys.
Always got to give a compliment to the hair, because you get slapped up if you don't say anything when she comes home.
That's a plus. Yes, I actually just got my extensions put back in.
Ooh, it looks beautiful.
Thank you. Shout out to Carol, Hair Extensions by Carol, who's actually not far from here in Delray, at Sheerluck Salon. She hooked your sister up.
Oh, nice.
We did a nice collab, and she does a really cool different technique. You don't really care about this,
but
so like it's a combination. I've had tapes before and wefts, and she does a weft that is a tape. So it's actually really cool because it's not as heavy as a normal weft. I've had like all the hair that you can imagine, obviously, so I know like what it is. So if you guys are interested in like this different technique, she actually patented it. She's she created it. So, and her hair is beautiful. It's all from Brazil, real hair. And it was great. She's awesome. And then my color I got done by another great stylist and colorist. His name is Nick, and he's in Delray too. So if you guys are in the area, because we film at at Podcast Junkies in Boca. So I always like to shout out our local, support our local businesses, of course. But
I love it. How are you, babe?
I'm doing that. Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Weather was beautiful today.
I love how Savvy always talks about the weather.
It's beautiful, man.
Notice that, Ben?
It's nice right now. Ben,
cute.
Ben, listen, we don't get many days like 75, sunny and clear. It's
I was
like
gonna say those blue clouds.
Yeah,
those
dude.
no clouds in the
I
sky.
love it.
Blue skies.
I will say this, though.
skies.
I will say this.
Tongue twister.
I don't know about you, but allergies been killing me, though.
Yeah, you've been getting swamped.
Like right when March hit, I feel like March 1st, I got hit hard with allergies.
It's because you're on the golf course every day.
No, it ain't the golf course every day.
I'm sneezing all the time,
Thank you,
man.
Ben.
No, it is. It's serious.
Savvy picks up the balls on the
Ben,
grass.
if you look at our cars in our driveway, like yellow tint over it.
I think I ate some pollen the other day. My throat was like bad. But I really like your black hat.
Oh, you like my black hat? My first time I wore a hat on the podcast? Yeah, because I got to get a haircut after this.
I wonder why you're wearing that, though.
Because she said I looked hot and black, Ben. She
The
was like,
other
you
day,
look good in that black hat.
He was wearing,
like,
I don't know, something about it, like, just all black. Like, he just, like, walked out of his truck. I posted it on Instagram. And he was wearing all black with his black hat. I was like, damn, you've been looking good there, honey.
Hey, whatever gets me lucky. You know what I'm saying, Ben?
Yeah,
Wink, wink.
you know.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get down to business.
Let's get it.
How about it? So today,
What are we talking about?
we're going to dive into some of the nitty-gritty of like behind the scenes of how I took a side hustle to a global empire. So it's pretty exciting.
That's juicy stuff.
It's juicy, yeah.
People got to tune into this one.
You guys aren't going to want to miss this. I think there's lots to talk about, but I kind of want to get into detail and specific about kind of what people think on the outside because they just see the glitz and the glamour, in WWE and they think everyone, makes all this money and oh my gosh, and you become so famous and all these things. And, people don't realize really what goes into becoming and being a WWE superstar and the sacrifices that you put on your body and you put on the line. So I kind of want to get into a little bit of the nitty gritty of
Ooh, I love this. This
right?
is juicy.
You like this,
I
right?
like this.
I figured you would like this.
I like this conversation.
Yeah. So, I think people think WWE money in general is crazy, right? I've talked to a lot of people in the past of like, oh, well, you got to be doing really well at WWE, questioning maybe what I do now or whatever it may be. And yeah, I was doing well. And I thought I was making great money. And obviously, it's not so much about all the money. It's really the platform that I always talk about, that, the loyalty of the fans and the amazing platform that I was able to, receive and basically use, obviously now until the end of time. But, when you actually really break it down, it's like, as independent contractors, 1099s that we are, you're paying for your own hotels, you're paying for your own cars, paying for your own gas, paying for your own food. You're paying for your own clothes that you need to be wearing. And not only that, I mean, we have to look a certain part, most of us,
Absolutely.
right?
So you got to spend a lot of money
Spend
on
a
your
lot of
wardrobe.
money on
Your ring
wardrobe.
gear ain't cheap.
Ring gear, all that, all those things. So there's a lot of things that go into play when you are a WWE superstar and how much money you have to put out there. And as a 1099, and you don't get really any benefits for the long run. It's like after when it's all said and done, and Uncle Sam comes and it's time to pay your taxes.
The ironic thing too is people don't understand, like, it's actually a small percentage what you were getting paid, what you were making the company as well. People don't talk about that, and that's not valued enough. And I'll be honest with you, I remember I was on the golf course one time talking to all my boys, and when you were double champion and you were the hottest thing in NXT and you were trending #1, weekly. And I told them what your yearly salary was, and they were all kind of very shocked and disappointed in the sense of, like you said earlier in the conversation, they think, oh, she's making all this money, retire the family, like she's set for life, and that's not the case at all, especially in that rank. And that's what I think we should talk about in this episode is, like, you were almost forced to develop your own brand on the side because you had so many opportunities to make more money and be more lucrative. And they didn't like that. They started not to like that.
And we're going to get into that, but it's like, it's also one of them things, you're spending a lot of money and, you're on top of it, you're beating up your body, you're on the road for over 300 days, you're, missing a lot of things, important things, family, all these things. And then, at the end of the day, and then sometimes with no plan for the future. So
no retirement.
None of that.
Listen, 1099, WWE has no retirement, no 401k, no HRA, no benefits, no pension. And to me, that was mind-blowing. Vince was a smart, ruthless man for that one.
And so to that, it's like, I kind of want to walk through my thought process because I've never spoken about this on any other podcast, not on our own. We've talked a lot about my firing and certain things, but I've never really dove deep into this specific conversation about, like, what led me to exclusive content, right? So a lot of people ask, and, how did this come about? And so basically, I was always the one, and you can ask a lot of the girls that I've tried to help, whether it was NXT or whoever it may be. I'm always the one where, build your brand, use them just as much as they use you, get that following up, take pictures. I might have been the annoying one in the background, I always took my selfies and my bikini photos. And, I came from a fitness background. That was kind of my niche. So whatever your niche was, it doesn't have to be fitness or, my bikini modeling or whatever else. Use that and keep that with you so that you have something to fall back on. And I've always said that, in the past to the girls and guys, like, develop your following and have something that you maybe are passionate about and you could still kind of, get away with and do. And I know that's a whole nother thing too, is the controlling aspect of what you can and cannot do.
Yep.
So getting to my decision, and Sabby was there through it all, getting to my decision of choosing to do an exclusive content subscription platform. I was approached from my old manager, who I was approached many times, and I kind of kept shutting it down, but I always kept my ears, opened, and I wanted to really listen and hear them out. But I was approached from Fan Time, which was the first exclusive content platform site that I was on, and they were offering me a 3-month match earnings. Whatever I did in 3 months, whatever I made, the first 3 months, they were going to match that earnings, which, to me, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, I didn't know what kind of money I could make on this. I didn't really know much about it. So it took a very long time for me to kind of, you remember, I was really like thinking about it, and I was like, I was like, it's what I'm doing on Instagram. Like, I'll take them behind the scenes at photo shoots, maybe give them a little bit more of what I, don't post on Instagram, just like what Instagram is doing right now. And a lot of people are doing it, exclusive content and getting, paid subscribers to follow you along, go live, communicate with your fans, all these things. And I'm like, maybe this is a good idea. And I don't know if, if something happens, what are they going to do? Slap on the wrist, whatever. You got to take risks in life, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I thought about it long and hard and realized that, why not, right? So I took this deal. Within 3 months, I got my earnings check, and I was blown away because it was basically what I make in a year from WWE.
That what you made and the bonus check combined in 3 months was pretty much what you made in a full year at WWE. You're saying
No, yeah, the bonus check
alone
was
wow.
what I made as my WWE
Wow.
annual salary.
Wow.
So we were like, kind of like, and now mind you, you remember this was all without any kind of promotion across social media.
Because you had to keep it kind of hush hush because you had your skincare line and
Yeah, which you have to get things approved with WWE. So like certain things get approved, some things don't. But like in my eyes, I didn't really think anything was wrong with what I was doing. It wasn't like it was anything bad or I was. It's where the world is right now and where it's going. So I just. I had to like scratch my head for a second and I'm like, well, this is kind of crazy. It's almost like, am I underpaid or is this just so lucrative? Like, is this the future? Is this what I'm missing out on or something? So obviously you guys know kind of the rest of the story, what happened. But it was then I realized that like, wow, I don't know. I can like control my content on my terms, when I want and how I want. And I was like, this is kind of interesting, right? We kind of spoke about this like
it was very
crazy.
Interesting. And I think what I remember going through this whole process with you, and I think I actually remember discussing it with you where you were in shock. We were both in shock on how much you were able to generate in 3 months, and then plus the earnings match, where it was going to have to be a serious conversation on what's best for you in your future and what's best for you and the family, because you were the hottest thing at that moment in time. You were NXT double women's champion. Like I said, your fan base is such engaged with you. You're always trending on Twitter, #1. So yeah, it was a conversation. We were actually starting to have the conversation until obviously you want to keep going with the story, but
right.
It's kind of like it was a pre-made decision for us, but yeah.
Right. I remember us having multiple conversations about it. And, it was also like, listen, I'm at the top of my game right now. The ceiling, the sky's the limit in a sense with where I'm at, but really nothing's guaranteed in WWE. We know that you could be anyone and, your time done with the company could be tomorrow. You really
Absolutely.
just never know.
Always got to take care of your brand and yourself.
Always. So that's kind of the whole point of it. But the crazy part is like I thought I was doing well in WWE financially, and then I realized,
and
like,
you were.
wait,
and
no, and I was
good.
I was, but then I kind of realized I was like, well, is there
There's
a lot more
out there,
money that I'm leaving on the table? And now, granted, guys, I know a lot of people can say what they want about this and whatnot, but you got to remember. I was portrayed on TV with WWE as a sex symbol. Let's be honest.
Yep.
There was no secret.
Home wrecker. Yeah.
There was no secret. I was a home wrecker. I did a hotel scene with a married man. I made out with a 300-pound man in front of my boyfriend at the time. Do you believe that, Ben?
You came out in a towel on TV.
I came out in a towel on TV. I did a lot of things because I knew that this was part of my character. Listen, I I'm a beautiful woman. I'm being confident, not cocky, and they can use this as a way of, developing storylines, developing characters, and basically using me as this sex symbol in a way where they can monetize off of it. But then all of a sudden, I go and do this on my own, just, having a direct relationship with my fans, doing exclusive content. And all of a sudden, within 24 hours, I get stripped from my 413 title reign. I get fired with 0 warning. And I'm sitting there like, wait, what?
You know what the irony in that is? The irony in that is, in my eyes, WWE tried to screw you and tried to kind of maybe set an example or try to unquote, discipline you, or, all of a sudden you're the hottest thing and they were like, oh, we're no tolerance for this. But the funny part is they gave you a multi-million-dollar marketing campaign to
Right.
all your platforms. And, for that, I'm grateful. But it's just the irony in that is that they are ruthless, right? You see it every day. You see these superstars get released like that. And I just think it's funny when they tried to kind of F you. And it was more like, all right, you changed my life financially because of your multi-million-dollar marketing campaign. And let's just call a spade a spade. All the traffic from that moment, because again, you were the hottest thing NXT had, right? You were the hottest thing. Your Twitter would always be blowing up, number one. So now, the day you were fired was a straight path to all your skincare line, your subscription-based platforms, and tell them. In 24 hours, you made more money in 24 hours than.
Yeah. So basically, like, it was a whirlwind of emotions, but also just like, you're just like in disbelief, but you're also like, okay, well, yeah, like they may say this is a business and, and the same thing for anything, but like, well, this is a business too. And at the end of the day, when you got to do what's right for your future and your family and no one's coming to save you, your famous line.
Absolutely. No one's coming to help you.
It is what it is. And it is a business. So you know what? If I can monetize off this, just like you guys are doing, but I'm making a hell of a lot more money doing it, then why not?
I was going to say, it sounds like they really underestimated you. Was your whole potential, like, right? Because they gave you this whole thing and they're like, oh, she's not going to go and do like her own thing. And like, but you're like, no, this is like the best opportunity for me to do it.
Yeah.
Right. And
for
then,
sure.
And then that just allows you, and then it kind of made them look even worse.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah. Well, it kind of backfired because
exactly.
I think, and it's also like one of them things like, were they doing it to make a statement? Because I do know that can be a thing. And listen, they ain't dumb. They're very smart.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, we know where the world is basically at this point. When we're talking 2 years ago when this kind of blew up, but it's like that's where the world is going in between AI, between social media, exclusive content, all these things. Maybe they did want to make a statement in a sense of like, we don't want other girls to be doing this.
Well, it's also, Ben, too, it's also, they were trying to make a statement and they got afraid, in my opinion, that they couldn't monetize
100%
and control Mandy Rose anymore,
exactly.
right? And the thing is, something for that is, to me, what's the irony in this is they had bad intentions, in my opinion, because you got to remember, like we'll talk about this, 2 months prior, her brother passed away. I found her brother dead. And it was the roughest time of Mandy's life. Meanwhile, she's the biggest star they got. And she went back 8 days later and performed on the biggest pay-per-view because she was the main event. So you got to put that in irony in a sense of like, that held no credibility. So for that, I know for a fact WWE didn't have good intentions. They're pieces of shit. And when it comes to that aspect of it. So I look back and I smile because you changed our lives forever by giving us a multi-million-dollar marketing campaign. And why I say a marketing campaign is because everything was driven to her now, right? Everything was driven to her pages. And, she'll tell the story even more, but it's public knowledge. I think she made 1 point something million in 12 days?
Yeah, so basically to what you're saying, it is true. Yeah, there's, and that's like the loyalty aspect of it. So let's get back to getting fired. Driving home from Orlando and basically just watching my account go skyrocket. Like literally Sabby and his
we were
cousin
checking like every 5 minutes.
And we literally, I've never checked something so much just because it was almost like comical. I'm like, this is wild. And now mind you, all the headlines were obviously driving these people there too because of, what it was. And people were curious, which is, I would be too. So basically they, we're all checking out my page. So, on my way home driving, it was a 2.5 hour drive and it was like the stock market just going up and up and up and up. And it was insane. But that's when I kind of realized at that moment, like, okay, now like this was just a passive income thingy. And now we're turning this into, gold mine in a sense, because I can really do with the right marketing and the right time that you put into this can be something big. And obviously I my life changed. I went from grinding 300 plus days out of the year, falling on my back to basically 10xing my money in 1 year.
10xing? Ooh!
Yeah. So,
and our relationship got, I think, so much better because we spent so much more time together.
yeah, for sure. And people think sometimes only, I say OnlyFans, but subscription-based platform is just like a post and get paid. It's not, and that's what I kind of want to get into next. Is just basically, at first I was just posting casually. I was just doing behind the scenes things. Giving the fans what they want in a sense of, a little sexier content, some chats, going live, all that. But then when you sit back and you realize, this is all strategy and marketing, and this is what it's about. So, basically, I think the biggest mistake, people do have is they do think it's just like it must be so easy, just post and get paid. But honestly, it's not. And don't get me wrong, I had a huge following and the big foundation to what got me to 10x my money, obviously. And it doesn't happen to everyone like that. But there's a lot of work that goes into it. I'm constantly shooting. I'm always thinking of other ways that I can engage with my fans. Now I have this direct relationship with my fans that I'm able to, chat with them and put the time that I have now that I'm not on the road 300 plus days, that I can, do and put the time in and actually see that progress in developing what became a global empire in my mind, in my business.
Well, and now you're your own brand. You monetize your name, image, likeness. You control the narrative. You control your work schedule. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And you're smart with all your investments. And I think that's something that, really has to go to, you learned a lot from your time there. And I think that's what's the amazing part of it.
For sure. And I always like to talk about that, monetizing your own brand. And this isn't even just for, ex-WWE people. This is also for, ex-pro athletes. This is for...
Absolutely.
This is for anyone that realizes that big corporations are taking most of, the money that they bring to the table in a sense. And it's like, and NIL just became really prevalent within the last couple of years. And it's so true. And it's kind of like one of them things. It's what I talked about on the Tamron Hall show, is like owning your own brand, like name, image, and likeness is so important, because no one can take that from you.
Absolutely not.
That is your thing. They can take so many other things and use you for so many other things, but no one can take that from you.
Absolutely. Listen, if there's a message to people listening today, I think the message is always take control of yourself, in a sense of put yourself first, put you and your family first, because we've said it on the podcast before, nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's coming to make your money for you, right? And if they are trying to come to you because they see money in you and they think they could benefit from that as well, just like WWE, benefited from Mandy Rose and you benefited from them. But you were smart enough as an entity to understand that there was a means to an end. Your career was going to be over at one point, either then or 2, 5, 10 years from now. But you were smart enough to realize that you were extremely hot and you needed to capitalize on that opportunity. And if there's a message out there for anybody in that kind of industry or business, listen, always put yourself and your family first, because I promise you, they will drop you like a piece of meat. You are just you're just another ticket in the line. I went through it. I was a second-round draft pick in NFL. That's as hot as it gets. First, second-round pick is about as hot as it gets. But let me tell you something. The second I didn't play good, I didn't even exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the second I got
nobody
hurt,
cared. Yeah.
The second I got hurt my first year, nobody even greeted me when I came in the facility. It was
crazy.
Almost like. It's almost like, whoa, you almost realize yeah, okay, you loved me because I could do something for you. But once I can't do anything for you anymore, cut off. So that's why I always preach to people, even in this podcast, get yours, because you have a small window. If you live 80 years and you have 5 years to get, that's a small window. Right? So listen, more power to you, babe. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of what you developed. And now, you continue to grow, and you are getting opportunity after opportunity every single day. You have people reaching out to you, so it's. Yeah, and I'm excited. You're my sugar mama. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink. Just joking, Ben. Just joking.
People asked before. Yeah, so what does your boyfriend do?
Hey, Ben.
Someone
asked
me why you're on the golf course so much, guys.
Ben, you know why I can golf 3 days a week, Ben?
How come?
I got
that sugar mama.
Where do I I get one of those?
You know what's even cooler? That Sabby is so confident as a man, and he's achieved so much, obviously, that he's able to sit here and praise me, but also say that. Like, there's a lot of men out there that wouldn't be able to do that.
No,
So
listen,
I give you credit because you have so much confidence that it never, it doesn't even.
I'm your
faze you in
biggest
that way.
fan. I'm
I
so
know.
proud of you. I want you to blow any of my accomplishments away. I want you to make way more money than I ever made. I mean, you're on the way. You already did. Shit, dude. Fucking bad last couple of days. No, I'm just playing. But no, it's for me. It's listen. I will help you. I'll do everything in my power to help you well exceed me.
Yeah, because we're a
I love it,
team.
and we are a team, and that's what I
yeah.
love about it. And I think that's what I think a confident man should be like. And it's okay that
100%.
I'm okay with. I have no problem right now saying my woman out earns me right now in life, that she's the breadwinner, right? But that's fine because I know what I've accomplished, I know what I have, and I know at the end of the day who I am as a man. But if you're not trying to help somebody, you're not trying to wish success upon all your friends or people you love, then you're actually losing. You really are losing, right? Like you gotta have that energy to help everybody, because success without your friends or success without people you love is nothing. And for me, that's why I just love where you're at, and I'm so proud of you because you still work so hard, and
I love that.
And
That's
I can
really
golf
sweet.
3 days a week.
And
No, I'm just
he's
playing.
on the flip side. He's got that freedom too.
Yeah, I do.
But that's-
Listen, dude, she's giving me the freedom to invest my money. Like, there's no stress for me, right? Like, there's no stress for me to, oh my God, like, I can do deals that maybe lock my money up a little longer with a little bigger return, and there is no stress. And like, there's no stress for me, like, oh, I got to do this. No, it's okay. Like, I could do this deal, or this can come organically. And listen, I love you, babe, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of how you handle everything. And you know what's? It's another niche to you is how you handled yourself through this whole process. Like, it goes a long way how you handle yourself.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. And I think that kind of sums it all up in hindsight of, like, the last part is like the freedom factor. And that's what it's all about. I think there's people out there that want to judge. And just like what Sabby just said about how, more power to you, and more power to seeing your friends do well and wanting your friends to do well, or your siblings, or your, anyone in your family, or people that you don't even know. And I feel like you do such a good job with that, is like you want everyone to succeed. Like, you were like that in WWE at first. And like, unfortunately, not everyone's like that in that company. And it is what it is. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's not really a team sport like football was. And I feel
But it's not really a team sport either in the NFL.
Yeah,
it's like
true.
doggy
That's kind of
dog.
doggy dog. Yeah, that's true. As
Everyone's
I say
trying
that,
to make their money. But yeah,
everyone is.
But I know what you're saying.
You know what I
though.
mean, though.
Yeah.
You need your defensive line to do good with
Oh.
you.
Yeah,
is my point.
yeah,
Like, it's more just
absolutely.
Whereas, like, wrestling, there's just it's way different. But anyway, my point is that, like, people want to judge, or they want to talk bad about it, or the stigma of it, but no one realizes, what it's done for some people's lives, right? And what it's, and who cares? Like, paint this picture.
At the end of the day, nobody cares. I can tell you that
Exactly.
right now.
But paint this picture. I wake up when I want, do what I want, and I don't have to take bumps or be on the road for 300 plus days. And I basically make 10 times the amount of money that I made in WWE in 1 year. Like, that's
You go, girl.
That's crazy.
You go, girl.
And people
proud of you.
always want to, maybe want to talk shit, but I really don't give a shit at the end of the day.
I love it.
I don't. So, whatever. It's just, what it is, whether it's OnlyFans, whether it's a business, whether it's branding, whether entrepreneurship, whether you're in entertainment, Hollywood, whatever it may be, the moral of this is own your name, image, and likeness. So these huge corporations can stop stealing money from you at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Well, and the funny thing is, in that industry, they actually tell you you're 1099, but then they also tell you can't have nothing on the side unless we get a piece of it.
Yeah, it makes no
That's
sense.
like actually illegal. Like, that shouldn't even be allowed. Like, so you're gonna 1099 me, but then you're gonna control what I do on the side. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Sorry, I've said
No.
it before.
It doesn't.
But
But on that note, we are very blessed and grateful for every single one of you out there. I'm so grateful for all my fans. I love that I have this platform, that I can have this direct relationship with you guys and chat with you guys and give you guys everything firsthand. You know, you are the first people to get my photo shoots and chat with me all day. So I love that. So if you guys aren't subscribed, I suggest you go subscribe.
Click that button.
And also, I have a signing coming up, which is next week. Actually, no, it's in a couple days. March 15th.
March 15th, yeah.
New York. I feel like February went by so fast. I'm so messed up with the dates.
It's crazy. No, it is crazy.
So March 15th, it's big event in New York. I did the last 2 signings there. So come hang out in Long Island. And we'll be at WrestleCon in Vegas, April 17th weekend, which Easter weekend. So we'll be in Vegas. I will be at WrestleCon. And we have some more exciting things to chat with you guys. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and listen to our podcast every other Wednesday. And we appreciate you guys listening.
Love it.
Mwah.